Hello everyone and welcome to the next lesson of HTML, and in this particular lesson we are going to look at the responsive web design. And what is a responsive web design? A responsive web design is a way of building websites so that they can look good and work well across all devices, right from the large screen devices like desktops to the small screens like tablets and mobile phones. And why is it important to build responsive websites? The importance of building responsive website is because majority of the internet users now are using mobile devices, and therefore it is important to build your web for mobile devices. And another important is that it gives a better search engine optimization and user experiences. So when users have good experience using your website, then they are going to search more about your website, and the search engine is going to optimize and index it more. Another importance is that you are able to have one code base, and that one code can be able to be executed on all the devices instead of writing a different code for mobile and writing a different code for desktop and yet another different code for tablets. Another importance of responsive web design is that it gives a consistent look across all the devices, and that is the main purpose of responsive web design. Now let's look at the principles of how to make your websites responsive. Number one, you have to ensure that you are using a meta viewport tag. When we were looking at our previous lesson, we looked at the concept of meta tag, and within meta tag we can define the viewport using this syntax, and the viewport will be able to resize the page to look good on all the screen devices. So that, let me take you through this website. If I come to this particular website, now I'm viewing this website on the laptop on a larger screen. Now let me resize this screen to have the mobile device screen, and when I resize this, you can see this is a mobile device screen size, and the website still looks good, and it automatically resizes itself. And now this button changes to a menu which can be clicked so that you can have your navigation seen right here. And when I resize it to another size, for example the tablet, which is this size, the content still looks good across all devices. And this is what we mean by responsive web design. So the way to make sure that it's responsive is to add this meta viewport. Another principle number two is to make use of fluid layouts with percentages. So in your website, instead of using the fixed pixel sizes, you can use percentage, or you can use other flexible units like EM, RIM and VH. These are the units of measurements. So when you come back to our Visual Studio Code in our home page, you can see that we have this image tag where we are inserting an image, and in this image we are giving the width in form of pixel measurements. So these pixels are fixed, and when we come to a screen size where the screen size is less than 150 pixels, then this image is going to be cut off. So to be able to ensure responsiveness, instead of using pixels, we can use something like maybe percentage. So we can say the width is going to be 50%. So for percentages are more flexible way of achieving responsiveness than using the fixed pixel sizes. The principle number two to ensure responsiveness is to make use of media queries. And the media queries are used to change the styles based on different screen sizes. So in future lessons, when we look at CSS, we will be able to see what a media query is and how to define it. This is a code snippet that explains what a media query is. For example, you can see here we're saying that when the screen size is 768 pixels, then make the font of the body size be 16 pixels. And when the media or the device maximum width is 480 pixels, then again make the body to have maybe 10 pixels. And then the principle number 4 on achieving responsive web design is to use flexible images and media. Again, instead of making pixels, we are using percentages here. And the last principle of achieving responsive web design is to make use of the responsive frameworks. An example of these responsive frameworks include the Bootstrap and Tailwind. So later on, we're going to look, when we look at the React framework, we're going to look on how we can use Bootstrap to achieve responsive web designs. So with that said, I want to pause this content here. It's all about teaching you the principles for achieving a responsive web design. In the next lesson, we will take a look at the concept of forms and how to add HTML forms on the web page. With that said, let me close this video here, and thank you for joining, and see you in the next lesson.